everyone. I'd like to introduce, first of all, myself. You cannot see my lovely face today, unfortunately. I'm having some technical issues. But you do probably know me already as John, the marketing manager at Filmworkz. But we are today joined by Gustavo Mendez, our product manager and chief tech guru. And, of course, the man of the hour, Michael Coronado from Duplitech. So very excited there. And, you can always, of course, check out Duplitech, their website, and what they're doing. They're doing some insanely cool, awesome stuff. So make sure you check them out afterwards. But today, of course, we're going to be looking at DVO Dry Clean. So we'll be focusing on, not me or Gus, will be more Michael, focusing on setting up a project in Phoenix, and then how he uses DVO Dry Clean to easily correct speckles and blue blotches, along with managing defects and more, and perhaps even showing you some tips and tricks using some other DVOs to really get a great finish to some footage. You can now get DVO Dry Clean in Phoenix Core, Phoenix Film, Phoenix Video, and Phoenix Ultimate packs. But you can also get it for Nucoda if you're interested as part of the DVO Restore pack alongside that. And of course, you can grab yourself a free trial of Phoenix, play around for yourself with the tools and see what you can do with it. But without further ado, I'll stop blabbering on and I'll hand over to Michael.
Thank you, John, and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm the lead restoration artist here at Duplitech. At Duplitech, we restored about 128 titles within a year. That wouldn't be possible without the help of my team and the Phoenix restoration software. DVO Dry Clean has been an essential tool that we use on a daily basis. It's been a really game changer to our workflow here. So with this demo, I just want to show you how I apply dry clean and how we use it to restore films. So let's get started. So the first clip that I have here today is it's a mild amount of dirt. This is something I run into like on a normal basis. So to apply it, simply click on DVO Restore, DVO Dry Clean, and then click right here. And then let's open up our parameters. So I'm going to leave dark dust, bright dust on to see what dry clean is processing. I like to switch my red difference map. The difference map is used to see what dry clean is processing. It'll give you like for example, if I scroll this up to 2, this is really aggressive, actually destructive in a way. We don't want to do anything like that. So let's bump it down a little bit. So this is a pretty good setting. So the grain's not getting affected. It's just concentrating on the dust and dirt. I'm gonna bring up the temporal safety just in case for any artifacting. This kind of analyzes the images and helps just getting a little more accuracy for our dirt detection. Now that's cached. Let's unclick this. And now we can preview our image. So this is, if we hit Q, you could go back to the source image, play through it. You see that was the dirt we saw before. And now this is our output. So this is the final result from dry clean. So as you can see, it removed a lot of the dust and dirt. There's a little bit of scratches, but with a little bit of manual cleanup, it's going to be a lot quicker than cleaning every single speck manually. So that's why that's really the magic of dry clean right there. One thing I do like to use, as you can see in this next clip, it's a similar amount of dirt. One area of concern is the milk fan pulling into the driveway. So one thing we could do, copy our settings from the previous clip, is go into the MEMS, click on notes, and add the selected note. So this saves all our parameters from the previous clip. You could click on the next clip, hit record, and it reapplies it. So as you can see, everything's saved from the previous clip. I'm gonna show you what's going on with, always remember in red difference map, when you use MEMS, it goes to note. You wanna put this back onto source. And as you can see, there's lots of artifacting going on the MEMS since it's moving. to remove it. Not going to use this matte paint. Matte paint is usually what I use to remove maybe a single piece of a single artifact on a single frame, but it'll be really time consuming if we do it on every frame as the band is moving. So let's open up shapes, which is like our mask tool. I'm going to select rectangle. Invert shape. So that way everything outside the mask is being affected. So it's removing all the dirt on the outside. And to track the band, simply just hit this button right here. And there you go. Now when we look at the right,
looks incredibly sci-fi doing that.
it does. As you can see, all the artifacts have been removed from the event.
People love those little dots when we do the tracking, man. It's incredible.
That is very cool.
And one thing before we get started on to the next clip, one thing about Dry Clean, Phoenix is really cool, is that it gives you indication that the resolution on this clip is different. So as you can see right here on the timeline, there's an orange bar above it. So let me put it to the correct resolution, so that goes away. And let's take a look at this clip. As you can see, this is really aggressive in dirt. It's really speckly, so something that Louis likes to call a final boss battle when we run into something like this. Apply it. I'm going to keep temporal safety at the default for this one. I just want to make sure it's picking up a little more dirt than being on the safe side. So if I look at our difference map, I'm going to tone this down just a bit. To around 32. And I'm thinking about, since I mostly use bright dust, I'm going to take off the dark dust detection. So a few areas I would be concerned about is the highlights on the teeth, especially as the camera zooms out. But as you can see with Dry Clean, the red difference map, some of the highlights are not really being affected. It's really just concentrating on dirt. But we love it so much. And if we butterfly this image, you can kind of get an idea like how much dirt is actually being removed. So on the left side is process image, on the right is our source. As you can see right here, there's a scratch. So sorry, John, I'm going to go a little off topic right here.
Go off piste, freestyle.
Yep. All right. Let me show you another cool. That's really cool. It's DVO scratch. One thing, let's be to stick right there. You don't want to apply another FX layer. If there was an artifact with the scratch tool, applying a second layer, there may, if you go back and forth between Dry Clean and scratch and do matte paint to remove artifact, it's going to recache the image. So what we want to do right here is add a selected effect. So it's going to double up with the Dry Clean. Within the scratch target parameters, I'm going to switch it to black, and just like that. Scratch on the face has been removed. Just really quick. And just like that, it's really simple. All the tools in Phoenix are really easy to use. They're really quick and efficient. And it's been, like I said, it's been a game changer for us, and everything's been really great.
Real clap. Well, thank you so much then, Michael. I mean, going through that, it's nice to see some other really cool tools. Like I've never personally seen that green mapping tool looking at the object. Like that's so cool to see it doing all of that in action. But yeah, we'll jump over for everyone to, if anyone wants to ask some questions for Michael about what he does at Duplitech and how he uses tools. I mean, I've got one in particular, Michael, that you might find annoying, but in the terms of obviously how you kind of do your workflows, what other tools do you use in your everyday work to kind of complete your restoration process?
DVO frame lock. We do use deflicker. That's something that's we're constantly working on. One tool that has really saved me a lot of time is DVO work. That is like an amazing tool, especially with like the first and last frames. They're usually like a 2-frame work, and it's really just as easy as DVO Dry Clean, DVO Scratch, where you can just apply it. It does all the work for you.
What's some of the coolest things you've worked on, if you're allowed to say it? I don't know if you're allowed to say certain things, but what's some of the highlights of your career?
Some of the highlights, I worked on the Hurt Locker. I was part of the team that restored I Spit on Your Grave. Sinalicious is Belladonna Sadness. So just there's some titles that I'm hoping that we get here at Duplitech, but I can't really talk about those right now. But I got some pretty exciting stuff coming out.
Super secret stuff then.
Yeah.
What made you get into restoration then in general? I'm just curious whilst people have a time to ask some questions.
What got me started, first I was really leaning into defects. I was actually intern at my Brim Loss company, Gunslinger Digital, and my sister is actually a restoration artist, and she was the lead at Company 3. So one day she called me. She just wanted me to shadow her, just kind of get an idea of what she does. And then I was like, oh, this is like amazing. Like I just gravitated to it. It was something that I really enjoyed. For some people, it's like watching paint dry, but I just felt really passionate about it, and I just eventually kept on learning. It's just been really great. Just as my career went on, it's met a lot of great people. It's like a lot of people. It's like even with Phoenix, close family friend, Jason Runbach. He showed me like Phoenix, and he kind of like, once I got my hands on this, I was like, oh, I'm never going back to anything else.
What's one of the hardest what's one of the biggest challenges you've had in a restoration project then?
It just depends on the material. Like sometimes, things are beyond repair. They're just in such bad shape. You want to have the time to restore something, but there's always a budget, so you're always like a race against time. So that is like probably the most disappointing thing. I wish I could take all the time in the world, but we got so much projects in the queue, so we just got to constantly working on things.
Oh, I guess that's always the case. There's always another one that keeps coming as well, which
Yeah.
is which is a good place to be. Gus, do you have any questions?
I'm definitely curious about your Duplitech workflow. I mean, you guys are normally doing the scanning as well, or you're getting ready like digital files directly from studios. I mean, how does it work in general?
Everything at Duplitech is really like we do everything in-house, from scanning to conform to restoration and color. It's been like it's amazing because it's a really close-knit team, and we have a lot of meetings, which is good because we've got to keep a lot of communication because there's so many projects in the works.
Yeah.
So just yes, the good thing, Steve, he allows us to experiment with the different tools. Like before we're using a different software, and he gave me the time to experiment with Phoenix, and once we apply that to our workflow, just with the DVO Dry Clean, and just eliminate a lot of the manual work, and a lot of the tools in Phoenix have just been a lot quicker with our workflow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, we got Sophia, our very own, asking, great class from you, Michael, but what makes you choose DVO Dry Clean over other DVO tools?
Because dust and dirt is something that we deal with on every frame. It's throughout the film. It's like, to me, that's the most time-intensive fix. It's not the most difficult fix, but most of our restoration budgets are dedicated towards removing dust and dirt. So DVO Dry Clean really, it's a game changer. It's like it just removes all the speckling. It does most of the work for us. So I think Dorn said it, the laziest restoration artist is the best restoration artist.
Well, I think that quite leads well into Daniel's question as well. Following, I hope that's answer for you, Sophia. How much of your approach when restoring is technical against how much of an eye for detail do you have for the original creative intent?
Ooh, good question. Yeah, there's always like in our production meetings, there's always we're referencing a master file, so we got to do our homework in a way. We get some feedback from creative and the project managers, like, do not touch this. This is archival footage. This is meant to be there. So when it comes to when I review something, with my experience, I could evaluate a clip and kind of get an idea of like what I need to do within Dry Clean, since I've been using it for a while now. I kind of have like my set parameters, and so that's where the technical side of it comes into play. And just really, just the accuracy of Dry Clean is amazing because it's just focusing on the dust and dirt. We're going through the matte paint frame by frame, just making sure we're just only affecting the dust and dirt and not removing anything that was like a bird in the sky or any highlights on the vans. So we're really, that's a really big deal here at Duplitech. We're not making sure we're being destructive. We're actually just bringing that footage back to life.
Oh, brilliant. Chris then asks, do you know if there is a way to have any individual strength settings for like light and dark dirt?
Yeah, it just depends on the content that you're working on. Like I was reviewing with the MEMS, like you could set up like maybe a certain range has more dark dust, and so you want to disable bright dust. So you could, within your MEMS, in your notes, you could set up a few settings, like more than one, and just apply it as needed.
So you can, I guess, play around with different strength modes that you want depending on the type of footage you've got, basically. Do you do that a lot at Duplitech as well?
Yes. So the process, that's like one thing with kind of saving as much time as possible, because if you set up a project correctly, if you evaluate it first and kind of have an idea of like what the real looks like, you could save a few MEMS and kind of just apply it as needed. And in the long run, if there's optical dirt, maybe that shot's really heavy and really aggressive dirt, you could apply that aggressive setting to those clips, and that way it just eliminates all the manual work. So let Dry Clean do all the work for you.
That answers your question there, Chris. And then Sebastian jumps in and asked if he'd like, well, doesn't ask, he would like to know how scene cuts versus edit cuts affect DVO Dry Clean.
Actually, an EDL is best. If usually Conform will give us an EDL to work with, so that way it's really instant. You could just import it, and it'll do the scene cut for you automatically. So that way, when you're applying your MEMS or your Dry Clean, you could just apply it to clips. There might be certain shots where there might be a lightning storm, where we'll create heavy artifacts. So that's like a shot where you don't want to apply Dry Clean. So you just have the option, if you're working from clip to clip, where you want to apply Dry Clean and where you don't want to apply it.
Brilliant. Well, going from there, I think that's all of the questions that I've seen from everyone. But I hope, thank you so much for your awesome questions, and I hope you got the answers you were looking for. But yeah, just to go over as a review then. So today we were hopefully seeing... actually, hold on. I spoke too soon. We got one more from Daniel. What's your top Phoenix hack? Which I think is a great one. What's your top Phoenix hack?
That's one secret. I gotta keep that in house.
Top secret, is it?
Yeah, top secret.
maybe on another classroom session then or something at some point. Well, there were a few, and then you'll reveal the top hack. Okay, well, Bill. So DVO Dry Clean. I hope today you saw how it can save you time in your workflow. As Michael demonstrated, it saves him oodles of time from having to directly do everything manually, providing the best auto detection repair tool for all sizes of defects and more. Meaning you can focus less on the technical aspect and sat there doing bits, and focus on the creative aspect of it. which is fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed jumping on to our classroom today. And thank you so much again, Michael, for your amazing demonstration, and Gus for being our tech guy in the chair as usual. But following that, I'd like to also announce to everyone that from tomorrow, we'll be launching our 2023.2 update, which Gus and the dev team have been working absolutely tirelessly on for. And this includes some of the Sony Venice 2 and Canon RAW SDKs, along with a new DVO decompress. So again, that might be something to look out for the next classroom session, which is very exciting. Gus, do you have anything to add about that?
Oh, I mean, basically, what 2023.2 will bring is Venice 2, as John said. So we now have full compatibility with the latest SDK coming from Sony. So if you have 4K to 8K files from Sony cameras, you can now use them. Canon was long overdue, so now C200, 300, M500 with .crm files, the Canon RAW media is now fully functional, great performance. And the DVO decompress, I hope everybody has a chance to see it, because if you have footage that has issues with macro blocking, especially old H.264s from cameras and that kind of a thing, it can not only help you clear up those issues of macro blocking, but also give you a transformation from really low quality 420 color chroma spaces to a full 444 chroma space. So it is pretty great. And yeah, I mean, I hope everybody has a chance to test it very soon.
Well, I'll be able to check it out all tomorrow. So keep an eye out on your emails and our social channels for more news on that. But again, thank you so much, Michael. Please make sure you guys have a check out of Duplitech and some of the amazing projects they're working on. We even have a lovely Meet the Artist with Michael on our website, which you can check out and have a read about his amazing work there for yourself. And if you are interested in trying out DVO Dry Clean, you can, of course, grab a free trial and check it out for yourself. But without further ado, thank you so much for everyone. Have a lovely rest of your evening, day, afternoon, and we'll see you soon.